Sport Tier 2 Round 1 at the Laguna Seca. Now cool, start off Tier 2 of GT Sport. Brand new Tier 4 RLH due to the demand of Gran Turismo. Although the little beauties never actually told me that they were starting, so we missed half of qualifying. So should be an interesting one. And just getting used to the entirety of the camera angles as well. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Rightly Karma having a bit of a spin off there. Bogarovsky getting used to the gravel. I can see him being there quite a lot. Bagpuss Scruff could very well be a contender for a driver. Mendez, with his baby on board sticker, who's just having a bit of a tank slapper there. All going for qualifying. So at this present moment, the best timer out there is Renz de Lang, who's been on 1:16.5 on there. Obviously this qualifying is only for 10 minutes. It's nothing special. Obviously fuel will be full, tyres will be worn, they might be able to come in, do a quick pit stop, put a new set of super softs on and go for a final lap on lower fuel. But Laguna Seca, can get it right, infamous for its corkscrew corner, which Renz Lang is just coming up to now. Where it's hard on the brakes, take as much curve as you can on the right hand side and cutting through if Mendez decides to get out of the way, but obviously he decides just to get in everyone's way. What a lovely chap he is. So obviously these guys now coming down to the last 3 minutes, they're obviously going to chuck on a set of super softs now before they go on to their final runs. Alright. So obviously this is the first, this is only for a 5-round season. It's a tip just to basically free up the rough from the good. So it's only going to be a 5-race season. I don't know what the rest of the races are going to be. We could only wait and see. I'm just wondering if I can. So I've got the replay sorted out. So let's just go down the order. So we've got obviously Renz de Lang, we've got Bagpuss Scruff, who is putting a good time of 1:16.5. We've got Super Bounty also in there as well, sitting in P3. Rightly Karma in P4. Bogarovsky, Brent the Blob, Mendez, Let's Get Fiscal, Jaden Shack, Platypus returns, and I think they're the only 10 that are actually competing today. So all guaranteed points. And whoever comes last will be starting first for the sprint race. As Platypus returns, has a lovely little bit of a gravel time there as he comes through, I do believe, turn 5. Come up to the no, that's turn 6. He's been struggling to get that one all right through throughout the majority of practice, from what I've seen. But I think Super Bounty's quite happy with his potential P3. He's not going to be able to go and put another time out, but again, this is based on the fact that this is actually the qualifying. Rightly Karma on another lap as well. P4, only 3/10 off the pace of Super Bounty with a good lap here. Could potentially put himself up there. It's got a fresh set of rubber on, so it's always handy. That's what I mean, the infamous corkscrew. Can't put the power down as you go down the hill, because if you do, you're just going to go into the wall, create untold amount of chaos, and potentially end your race as well. Not through retiring, but just through the fact that you have to pit and get everything all fixed as well, because damage is on, as well as tyre wear and fuel consumption. There is no restrictions on the tyres, so they can use whatever the devil they want. Ooh. As rightly confident in a nice 116.5. That's nicely done. Renz de Lang just starting his final lap now. Hopefully he can do something better. Back for Scruff. Only less than a tenth off the top two. Could he potentially, as he comes up to turn 10, the penultimate corner? No, he's just going to dive straight into the pits, and everyone loves to see that. That would be fantastic. But I have a sneaky suspicion that this was only a practice session of qualifying. Well, go on, Platypus. You show that gravel to you, boss. I think that is everything done now. Bring the blob. No one is on their final lap. Jaden Shank deciding to give it a miss. As we just wait for the inevitable. And there we go, qualifying is complete and going straight into the race, I believe. So that is the actual starting grid as well. So there we go, we've got Rightly Karma getting the pole position with a 116.5, Renz de Lang in P2. Back with Scruss as well, all in the 1.65s, 16.5s. Super Bounty, Bogorowski and Brent the Blob in P4, 5 and 6. Let's get Fiscal and Mendes in P8, 7 and 8. Jaden Shack and Platypus holding up the rear. So let's see if we can get a good start. And I'll tell you what, Rightly Karma does get a very good start there. Backwards Rush losing position to Super Bounty. Super getting inside of turn 1. And Backwards losing the back end there, but Platypus had a really good start there, going up from P10 to P8, so he's had a really good start. Backwards goes back on the inside of turn 3, getting ahead of Super Bounty. But as we see, this Fiscal has fallen to the end. Mendes is just not racing. Oh no, he's there. He's must have had a bit of a bad one. As Jaden Shack is trying to get past Fiscal. We're missing the battle between Super Bounty and Backwards. Backwards looking to go on the inside. Going a little bit wide there, needs to get off that gravel. Bogorowski's just going to literally pinch him up before they come up to the corkscrew. And is he going to lose 2 positions here? Brent the Blob diving on the inside and forcing Blackpuss out. Oh, he's had a terrible opening lap. He's gone from P3 all the way down to P9. And I can only imagine he's going to be very upset with that. But saying that, Platypus getting a fantastic first lap. Going from P10 to P6 in less than a lap. That's 4 positions gained. Maybe the qualifying pace isn't there, but he certainly has got the race pace. Brent the Blob is defending off Bogorowski. Bogorowski going on the inside of the final turn. Part turn 1 manages to get the move done. Renz de Lang and Super Bounty staying on the heels of Rightly Karma. And it does look like Renz is going to come into attack. Super Bounty looking to go to the inside there. Thinking better of it, going around the outside. Seems to have the better drive and the quick acceleration, and he's just made light work of Renz de Lang with a nice little move up on the inside. Now he's going to try and chase down Rightly Karma. Bogorowski's a little bit in no man's land there. Brent the Blob, who had that instant with Backpuss, forced him off, which I think could come under stewards again. Platypus under the attack of Let's Get Fiscal. And oi, and there we go. I have a funny feeling I think Backpuss has just caused either broke a little bit too late and has just caused a massive incident between Let's Get Fiscal, Jaden Shack and potentially Platypus, but I think Platypus has come out quite nicely on that one. And Bacchus must have damage. He can't surely be going out there still. But never mind, we'll get back up to the front, where Rightly Karma is pulling out a little bit of a lead of his Super Bounty. And then again, Bogorovsky's catching Renzelang. So either Renzelang's having a bit of trouble with setup, or he's just going quite slow as Bogorovsky is all over the back of him. And go up on the inside. Oh, and Ren's has gone out wide. He has gone out really wide, and he's come back on, and Bogorovsky is now up into P3. Renzelang with an error there, and has got himself in position. Platypus still on the defensive from Let's Get Fiscal, coming up through the corkscrew. This could be a nice little battle there, but he's also catching Brett the Blob. Just needs a nice tight line there, but we've got a Fiscal just behind. Comes to the penultimate corner. Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. Oh, Fiscal's gone around the inside on the final turn, and Platypus has lost position to P7. That was a great move by Let's Get Fiscal. Yeah, it's unfortunate, Marlon. I assume you're Lord Robot, Lord Elephant. Yeah, I can't really say much there. All you're going to have to do is just wait. I think there are steps on the Discord. Obviously, make sure that whenever you are ready to join, if you are experiencing those problems, I think it's to exit the lobby and rejoin. Oh, it's Jaden Shag just goes into the side of Platypus, a bit unfairly there. I think Jaden needs to take a bit of a chill pill, because he's yeah, if you go back, rejoin the lobby, you should be able to join for the sprint race as well, but you'll be back at the grid. What I'll do is I'll get in contact with the host of the race and just let him know. Just join back into the lobby. Bacchus catched up in the back of Mendes, but he's not had a good race. Jaden Shack has managed to force his way through Platypus, I think a bit unfairly. Fiscal is on the back of the Blob. And catching up quite nicely. Renzelang is catching Bogorovsky, but we're sort of losing sight. Now, Rightly Karma's he's taken Rightly Karma, so he's either had an instant or I've completely missed that, trying to go through the back of the field. Let's have a look. So we've got the replay. In the start. Just going to try and find out what's happened here. So Bacchus gets a really bad getaway. And Mendes, let's have a look what happens to Mendes, because Mendes really goes off it. He just gets hit. He goes into the side and then just gets punted right off. Bit of to and throwing. And he gets spun, yeah, so that's what's happened there. But Mendes is now up to P9. Platypus returned, there's something that's happened there. But we shall have a look. Oh yeah, he just seems to maybe just losing a bit of traction on the vehicle, on the car. The tyres seem to have gone. Bogorovsky keeping a good P3 there. He's 6 seconds ahead of Renzelang. Renzelang is a good 3 seconds ahead of Fiscal. Fiscal is about a second and a half in front of Ren. Ren's keeping distance away from Shaq. Mendes is 7 seconds behind Shaq. Backward Scruff could potentially catch Mendes, as long as everything stays well. And Platypus just seems to have, from that initial first lap heroics, has gone down the pan quite nicely. Let's have a look. Super Bounty has gone a bit wide there, and that is going to bring Rightly Karma back into it. Rightly Karma through an area made by Super Bounty. That's how much it can cost. You can cost for a second just by going a little bit wide on these corners. Super Bounty looking to go up on the inside, but doesn't quite get it. Bit of a risky dive. And this is putting Bogorovsky right into the fold for the P1 position, P1 fight. So Super Bounty now, he's going to be trying the aggressor, going down into the corkscrew, and as much as I'd love to say, but that was not a good move. That wasn't the right time, Super Bounty. All you've done is just, you just hurt yourself there. Patience, my friend, patience. And you must have caused yourself a bit of damage, but nice little move there by Bogorovsky. He's managed to reap the rewards of what's happened there. Just keeping an eye on the other close battles there. And looks like we have got a battle coming up between Bagpuss, but we're not going to focus on that one. Bogorovsky coming over the start-finish line within 2/10 of Rightly Karma, but Super Bounty does seem to lack the patience, and he's got a better line than Bogorovsky going through the first couple of turns. He seems to be holding the speed quite well. Bogorovsky just staying in there, but it does mean that Renz de Lang has all of a sudden gone from being, I think it was about 5-6 seconds behind, to now 3 seconds. So as long as these three keep at it, can bring Renz de Lang back into it. Let's have a quick look at the fight between Mendes and Gruff. Now Gruff having his own incidences here. Always an incident at the corkscrew. Maybe braking later than anyone else can. Just go into the back of him. But Bogorovsky goes slightly wide there, coming at the corkscrew. Super Bounty looking to go around the inside, catching all that curb, and it's lost all momentum. So Bogorovsky very lucky to still be in P2, having that little bit of spin there. Super Bounty's come into the pins. Renz de Lang has now promoted himself into P3 after being about 5 seconds behind. He is now in within 2.5 seconds of the lead into P3, a podium position, but obviously Super Bounty has just pitted. And he's coming out, he's and Bagpuss is pitting as well, and I can only imagine he's going to have to fix some damage. Now Rightly Karma and Bogorovsky could be a fight to the end. Still got 20 minutes of this carnage, and Rightly Karma flashing his lights away. And Renz de Lang sitting very closely in P3. Had a great qualifying, but just failed to find his feet in the race. I think these guys will be pitting rather shortly. But to what tyres? Oh, we can only dream of. Bogorovsky is right on the back there. Bogorovsky's come in. And Super Bounty is now gone up to P2. Rightly Karma 9 seconds ahead, so Super Bounty, he's mostly got this covered. I think Rightly Karma is just going to try and just stretch out the tyres. By the sounds of things, it would lean like Super Bounty would have to pit again unless he's gone for a harder compound, but as I can see, everyone there is on the super softs. And it does seem like Bagpuss as well has managed to gain a few positions here. Mendes is going on the soft tyres, so he'll be slow initially to start with, but could potentially be faster as the tyres wear out. Bagpuss has done alright, he's climbing P7, he's got ahead of Jaden, Shaq and Mendes, who he was currently behind. Rightly Karma, he's losing a second a lap, and he's not even a finish of a lap to Super Bounty. Super Bounty's managed to get the jump on Bogorovsky, so the undercut has worked. And Renz de Lang just still falling a bit. Bogorovsky cutting all that corkscrew around some, which is not going to help him, especially with the tyre wear as well. And now as Rightly Karma comes in for the pits, Super Bounty coming through the final corner with Bogorovsky close behind, less than a second behind. And the question is, where is Rightly Karma going to come out? He's coming out now, he's in P4. And Renz de Lang is through. And Rightly Karma comes back in P4, so he's leading the race. Because he stayed out for that extra lap, he has lost 3 positions and he's got it all to do. That's going to be an interesting one. Super Bounty regaining the top spot. Bogorovsky slowly behind and less than half a second away. But as we can see, this is prone to instances or mistakes made by drivers, so nothing is set in stone. Bred the Blob is having a good race there, sort of a bit no man's land. He's 10 seconds to 11 seconds behind the top 4, and about 6 seconds ahead of Fiscal. Let's Get Fiscal is being chased down by Bagpuss Rough in P7. Just been the second, but Jaden Shack is also there as well. Mendes again in no man's land, and oh dear, I think Platypus has just had a bit of a bad day at the office there. Seems to be braking a little bit too hard there, going to the corners, just getting the back end all twitchy. But not the end of the world. So Renzo Lang putting in the fastest time there, on a 1:15.8. Bogorovsky coming under attack from Renzo Lang. Renzo Lang pretty much pushing Bogorovsky through the first couple of turns there. But this could be, well, the three Dutchies. You've got Virgil van Dijk, you've got Nathan AK and Patrick van Arnholt there, all defending. Who's going to be the Virgil van Dijk? Who is going to be the Nathan AK? Who is going to be the Patrick van Arnholt? So obviously the Dutch contingency. Oh, as Renzo Lang goes very wide there, coming out of turn 5. Is it turn 6? It's turn 6. 6. Going through the corkscrew. Renzo's gone up the inside, a brave lunge there, but he's made it stick, and he's ahead now into P2. Fantastic move there, going through the corkscrew. Let's see if we can get that on camera. No, oh, that's what we've got either. No, we ain't gonna. Bogorovsky coming back on the attack. The lane just keeping it there, and this is going to be a bit of to and fro in. Bagpuss is just getting off the back end. I don't know what's happened to Bren. Bren was in a really good position. He must have had a spin or something, but Let's Get Fiscal has managed to get ahead of him, and Bagpuss is closing up the end. Jaden is staying on the back of Bagpuss. Mendes again in no man's land, and Platypus just seems to be really struggling. Super Bounty, this is good for Super Bounty because Super Bounty can actually just extend his lead. He's now up to about a second lead coming up to the corkscrew, but Renzo Lang's got a fantastic drive out of turn 6 back to the corkscrew, and has sort of just left Bogorovsky behind and cut a second out of just that one turn alone. Renzo Lang has got something between his teeth, and he wants his P1 back, which he qualified him. So comes to the penultimate corner. Seems to be struggling here, losing a lot of time. So maybe he's got the straight line speed, but just doesn't have the cornering. So only 14 minutes left to go before the feature race is over, before we start the sprint race, where the grid will be reversed. And Brenda Blob has just gone back in. He must have had another spin and caused some damage to himself, because Bagpuss is now back in P6 and he's 2 seconds. So Let's Get Fiscal was getting away from Bagpuss. Bagpuss may be just struggling with the conditions of the track. It's quite a technical track, and this is a straight line. Bagpuss doesn't really like it. It's got corners in it. He's done for. So Jaden Shack again, not really making inroads on Bagpuss, and Mendes is just doing his own thing with his baby in the car. And Brent is coming up with a set of brand new super softs. And Platypus doing the right thing there, just letting the top 3 go around and just trying to get back on the track. But fair play to him. Doesn't want to affect this battle at the top. But Renzo Lang has gone terribly deep into the final corner after taking the lead. He's now going to drop down to P3. Riley Karma is going to get P3. Renzo Lang, a mistake into that final turn, and he has just dropped 3 positions. Let's see if we can see that. So we've got this is the overtake on. Let's see if we can see his mistake there, Renzo Lang. Right. Let's see if we can get that. Let's see if we can get. I don't think we can. Ah, never mind. Never mind. So just looking for the closest battle at the moment. Rins the lane, really struggling there. He's dropped a good couple of seconds there, but Bogorovsky and Super Bounty fighting for the lead still, just coming up to the 12-minute mark. But if we've seen anything in this race, it's not far from over, as anything can happen. And Super Bounty jumps into the pits now for them. We can only assume for the final time, so Bogorovsky will take the effective lead, rightly karma. But as we saw with Super Bounty, the undercut was quite valuable. It got him back out into the lead. So it's a two-stop on a super soft strategy, which I think's wrong. He always gone to the soft tyres, Super Bounty. So I think he wants to get himself to the end. It's a risk, but it could be quite well. Could go quite well. If the rest of these guys chuck on a set of super softs, near the end of the race, their tyres are going to be shot, and his will be, I wouldn't say fresh, but be better than the others. Big old gaps now materialising between Super Bounty. Let's get this. Super Bounty must have had another incident. Jaden Seca 30 seconds off the pace. Mendes in P7. Bren with Lob in P9. Bagpuss coming out, looking to try and get ahead of Jaden Shack, but Jaden Shack, he's just managed to take P6 away from Bagpuss. I can only assume that he's got a pit again, because Bagpuss is on fresh rubber. So it might be effective for the position at the moment, but I think Shaq will come to that. Let's have a look. Who else has got a pit? Oh, there's a yellow flag. So let's get Fiscal. He's also got a pit as well. I assume that is for... yeah, so... it's all going a bit topsy-turvy here, but Bogorovsky's still in the lead, but he's yet to pit. The interesting one here with Super Bounty, he has pitted. This is now his final 10 minutes. He's got a set of soft tyres on. He did an undercut earlier, managed to get the lead again. He was in effective lead before he pit. I think Bogorovsky may come in this lap and truck on another set of super softs to get him to the end, and maybe a splash of fuel. Rightly calm in P2. Renz de Lang, who's suffered pretty much every up and down you can experience, qualified P1, went down to P4, managed to get himself back up into P1 again, but on the same lap he decided to put him down to P4 again, so he's had it all. But he is catching Rightly Karma slowly but surely, and Rightly Karma's cut a bit too much of that corkscrew now, so he's going to be punched out for half a second, but that will naturally go. So Rightly Karma will take the initial lead. Now the question is, where is Super Bounty? Super Bounty coming around the final corner. Bogorovsky setting on a new set of super softs, so he will be quicker initially, but when it comes to the end of the race, who will be faster? Will the softs be enough, or will the super softs be able to hold out? Bogorovsky coming to the start of turn 1. Super Bounty there, it's going to be close. I think Bogorovsky, the undercut hasn't worked this time, so Bogorovsky, but then again, Super Bounty just looking at the inside there. Bogorovsky will need to make those super softs last and get some, well, take away some time away from Super Bounty whilst those super softs are fresh. And what's interesting as well, Bogorovsky's just come out of the pit lane as well, and you can see Rightly Karma runs the lane just in front of him as well. This will be for the final podium position, but Rightly Karma goes a little bit wide coming out of turn 6, giving Rensselaer the effective, well, the provisional lead. Rightly Karma looking to dive up the inside there, but I think Super Bounty will tell you that does not work, and so will Bagpuss as well. But the question is, when will these top two pit? Bogorovsky, Rightly Karma's he's shot down to the orders to P3, so he's in the pits now, and Bogorovsky catching Rensselaer at knots. Super Bounty being left behind. Oh, that's only 3 seconds in one lap. Super Bounty has lost being on them soft tyres. I'll tell you what, Bogorovsky, I think he's made the right choice here, and I think he could be in for the win. Rightly Karma staying out and having those instances may cause him some issues. Backpush in P8. Jaden Shack, so this is where Backpush good to make the overtake on Brent. And Jaden is just coming up at turn 1, so it is going to be a sprint, but I think Jaden's actually caught the better of the overcut as well, so the overcut seems to be powerful around here. So done really well there, Jaden. Let's get Fiscal. Let's have a look how he's getting on. He's again a bit of no man's land. I'm sure he'll take a P5. He'll be quite happy with that. Right in Karma after that pit stop, dropping down to P4. 8 seconds behind, so he must have had a really bad in lap. Renz de Lang coming back into the pits. Oh no, he didn't actually come. He stayed out. Oh, that's handy. So rightly calm. Oh yeah, because rightly calm and Renz de Lang, they were fighting. So again, it is between Super Bounty and Bogorowski, but it's going to be the battle of the tyres. With Bogorowski Super Softs last at the end of the race, only 5 minutes left to go. Super Bounty sensibly, cautiously put the soft tyres on at about, well, after the first lap was nearly 3 seconds faster. But obviously those softs will have a bit more life in them and a bit more grip as the laps wear on. And it does seem like Rightly Karma has managed to get ahead of Renz de Lang, so his outlap couldn't have been that bad. I must have over-exaggerated and not caused any grief. Backpush in no man's land again. Same with Mendez and same with Platypus. So let's have a look. So Brent the Blob could catch up with Jaden Shank, but Jaden Shank's got fresher tyres than Brent, so I can't imagine that going to be in the situation there. Jaden could get. Let's get Fiscal. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's get Fiscal. Ooh. His tyres are on the ragged edge there. So Jaden has got an opportunity here to get P5. And Fiscal could just do a quick put some new tyres on. Yeah, that's the consequence of having really bad tyres. Braking points change. You're not getting the best braking or the best traction out of corners. So I can only imagine he's going to jump into the pits for the last 4 minutes. He's surely not going to try and. Well, maybe he is. But he's going to be incredibly slow. Let's go back up. Bogorowski still leading by 2.8 seconds. Super Bounty. If I click on the right one. 3 seconds adrift. And it's been consistent at 3 seconds, so I'm guessing these are now the points where the tyres are on equal terms. But in saying that last corner, whether Bogorowski took it badly or Super Bounty took it really well, Super Bounty has managed to find 4 tenths, but has lost 2 cents going out through the corkscrew. And back up to 3 seconds again. Rightly Karma and Renz de Lang having a nice little battle here for the last podium position. Renz de Lang, who's been quite quick around this track, around the Laguna, but has been susceptible to making mistakes. Rightly Karma's done alright. He's not really been at any points of incidents. And Renz de Lang looking like he's got a really good drive out of there. Tucking up in the slipstream as he gets to start lap 21. 3 minutes left to go. Maybe another it will be 3 laps there, but it seems like Renz is just pushing Rightly Karma across the first couple of turns, but Rightly Karma has managed to keep that position intact. We're just going to keep an eye on the Super Bounty Bogorowski situation. Super Bounty again on the soft tyres, Bogorowski on the super soft. Bogorowski pitting 2 laps later than Super Bounty for those super soft, so they should get him to the end, and he should be quite alright. Yeah, I can't really see Super Bounty catching up with that. So I think 4.7 seconds now. That is quite impressive. So the closest battle is going to be for Rightly Karma and Renz de Lang for the final podium positions. As Rightly Karma goes a little bit too wide there, coming in. Bit of contact side by side, which has pushed Rightly Karma off. Try not to stand the power, just try and regain your composure. Whoa. Have we got that on camera? No. I need to get used to these replays, not too sure how they work. But Whether Renson Lang did that legally or not, it's only going to be down to the stewards to decide. That's a bit of a coming together. I mean, Whiteley Karma come up the corkscrew a bit skew with, and obviously gave Renson Lang plenty of space. But as they come up to turn 9, yeah, it just seems like they. Oh, and there's someone off. Not too sure who that is. It does seem like it's Mendes. Mendes has come off. Whiteley Karma taking over. But there is no other fight apart from Jaden Shack catching Fiscal as well as it starts. Well, this will be. I can only imagine this will be their last lap. Now Jaden Shack is on fresher tyres. He's got more grip. Fiscal is on really old super softs. He must be fuel saving, and I cannot imagine that Jaden will not get P5 here. And if he doesn't, it'll be a good defensive drive by Fiscal. And there's not really many overtaking spots that you can really do comfortably. You're generally just following in the slipstream of the car in front unless you make a move. And Jaden's got a really good exit there. He needs to have a good exit here to maybe dive up before the corkscrew. But Fiscal just seems to just having Jaden's number there. Well, Renson Lang is catching Super Bounty. Now I know these guys will be putting in another lap. Now the question is, no, this is going to be the final lap. But we'll just stay on board now. So these guys are just coming around the final turn, 20 seconds. Jaden Shack has got one more lap. One more lap to get this done. To get that P5. His tyres are fresh, and you just look at Fiscals. I don't know how he's keeping it on the track is beyond me. But there we go, Jaden Shack just giving a bit of a run there. As he goes up on the inside of turn 1, he's got P5. I don't think there was anything wrong with that Fiscal. The tyres have just given out on him, and I don't think he's going to catch either. So we're now across the start-finish line as Super Bounty comes up to the final penultimate, and Bogorovsky wins the race. So well done to Bogorovsky, 8 seconds ahead. A fantastic drive by himself. Back push is finished after being lapped. Super Bounty's going to be second, and Renson Lang is going to take third, and managed to close up that gap quite quickly to 0.3 of a second. Whiteley Karma gets P4. Jaden Shack up to corkscrew now. P5. Fiscal, I think, has succumbed to the fact that he's going to be P6, and Bren as well, unless. Oh, Bren just. Oh, unfortunate for Bren. Not really seeing much of Bren. Not been involved in much, but I can only imagine he's had a solid drive. And yeah, that is going to title off. And Platypus has now obviously finished a race as well. Title very much. Right, let me get hold of Mr. Bagpuss, who is holding the. Just go through the confirmed standings, but they're gone. For the brief second that we saw them, in fact, let me just rewind it on the screen a little bit. We can just go through, confirm. Right, as we just did that, was so that just trying to just get the standings. Come on, like that. I don't want the full screen. Stupid. So as we set up this sprint race, we'll just go through the confirmed. So we have Bogorovsky P1, that's fine. So Bogorowski was P1, Superbounty P2, and Rensted Lang get into the final podium position. A Rightly Palmer P4, Jaden Sharp P5. Let's get Fiscal P6, Bren the Blob in P7, Bagpuss in P8, Mendes and Platypus in P9 and 10. We're going to be spectating this. I've done all I can for Bagpuss. I've messaged him. Hopefully he'll put you in. Oh, Lord Elephant is in there. Mesh, Ancestor, you need to get yourself into the lobby, mate. Otherwise you can't be entered into the race. So just make sure you get yourself in there. If you are still watching this. Oh, let's have a look, see who's out on track, who's having a bit of a practice. Oh, there we go, Mendes having a good old spin around there. Jada, where are you, bud? Right, so we've got a full complement. There we go, 12 drivers in. The sprint race at least, it'll be grid reverse, but I do believe Lord Elephant and Mejan Sister, I believe that's the right way, Mejan Sister, will be starting P11 and 12 as if we're not in the feature race. And as you can see, Mendes just doing his best to try and get around the track. Obviously having that baby in the car is a bit of an issue. We're just waiting now, waiting for the room to be set up. was just getting ready now for the sprint race. Hopefully not much longer. Seeing Mendes drive round and round and round is as fun as this may be for the for himself to get himself a bit of screen time, but it's yeah, not really that fun. Oh right, Fiscal was out on track. There we go. Let's get someone else in there. Go on, Fiscal. Alright, so we are now about to start the sprint race where hopefully if Bagpuss has sorted this all out as he's the host, I'll put no pressure on him. Oh, here we go. Typical, always puts himself near the front, our Bagpuss. So the reverse grid is as follows. Obviously the reverse and obviously Lord Elephant and Majancester starting from the rear. So let's start with... That's my dog in the background. Don't know about that. Let's see how it goes. And up they go. Platypus getting a bit of a bad start. Mendes getting a good start, piling away. Platypus dropping from P1 to P3 as we come to turn 1. Oh, Renz de Lange is just sent Jaden Shack into the Neverworld, I do believe. Almost there. Mendes going up to P1, Bagpuss in P2. Platypus maintaining a P3. Renz de Lange finally forcing him away past Jaden Shack. Jaden Shack going a little bit wide there. Bogorovsky will be able to go up on the inside and he makes the move stick. So Jaden Shack dropping down to P6, but he's coming back on the second inside of turn 5. Bogorovsky giving enough spin, but Jaden just getting pushed into the corner. Bagpuss going looking for a move up the inside, and Bagpuss has just gone miles wide, and he needs to slow that car down. And oh, it has just not been Bagpuss's day. Car stuck on the grid. Let's have a look. So, Lord Elephant, did you two clear your caches? That's the question. Did you clear the cache as described in Discord? You're supposed to leave the lobby, clear your cache, and then get back into it. There's nothing I can do. I've done everything I possibly can. You are now unfortunately just not going to be able to participate. Mendes coming round on turn. Yeah, he did. Then there must be something wrong with your game, and yeah, this is going to cause chaos now. I have a sneaky suspicion that this may be a restart. As everything has just gone into chaos with those two still stuck on the grid. If you gents wouldn't mind, just yeah, you've been kicked off now, so you should be fine. I don't think there's going to be a restart now. I think Bogorovsky is just going to suck it up, buttock up, and take the fact that he's just gone into a stationary car. Platypus still keeping in P4, right in Karma. He's done really well in the previous race, and the future race is now in P3. Renz de Lange as well, he did really well, will be in P2. And Mendes, who's made the most of the practice whilst the sprint race was getting set up. But Renz de Lange has just been on fresh tyres. He has been absolutely rapid. Super Bounty was another one that was really rapid. Kind of behind of Platypus returns. Platypus just gone. He's just got this all wrong today. It's not been his Monday. The can't think what their names are, but the brothers of Platypus and Bagpuss. Stuck on the pit lane. Yeah, I understand you, Nesta. You know, I can understand it's a pain in the backside. But it's just been. I think it's just been one of those races where you've been unlucky. I think. Can't really suggest what to go for going forward. Best to ask Freddie for a guidance here. Bogorovsky getting past Platypus returns. Platypus returns just seems to be falling back. Not really had his best Monday night, but neither has his partner in Bagpuss. You know, he's gone massively wide in the corner and has just gone all the way down to the back with the likes of Jaden Shack, who had a good little battle with him in the previous one. Mendes still in the lead, Renz the Lang in P2. And we shall see if Renz the Lang can get a nice little overtake. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's an aggressive move there by Renz the Lang. And that is a really aggressive move by Renz the Lang. He should be a bit more patient, but that has brought Rightly Karma back into it as well. Let's see if we can get that. So if we jump on board with Renz the Lang there, it was an aggressive move. Really aggressive as they come up to the corkscrew. Mendes taking the race in line there. He's gone in, and Renz the Lang has just no regard. Oh, unfortunate. But a good line there. Renz the Lang now P3. Yeah, Lord, don't let one race spoil it, mate. Don't throw your toys at the pram. You know, stuff happens. You know, take the rough with the smooth and smooth with the rough. Put it on chat. Don't make it toxic. Because there's really no point, is there? What can you do? No one's going to restart the race for you. So I've done my part. Got you back into the sprint race. Obviously something's wrong with the connection or with the lobby itself. I don't think it's anyone that's participating in the league. I don't think it's the host's problem. I think it's just one of those instances that you would get on any other platform. So, like I said, mate, unfortunately, I think for yourself and Nestle, you just need to suck it up, buttercup this week and come back next week. Anyway, stop distracting me because we need to get on with the racing because this is a sprint for racing. So Super Bounty has managed to get above Renz the Lang with that. Well, I can only really aggressive move of Mendes. Mendes has managed to retake the lead. Rightly Karma. Hopefully better next week. Yeah, that's it, Elephant, mate. We'll get there next week. Next week we create. Oh, Rightly Karma. A bit of a shunt there into turn one, punting Mendes. Now, rightly or wrongly, I don't think Rightly Karma, but that should have been that should be a move that is deemed illegal. I mean, Mendes, you know, you'd have every right to be a bit peeved by that. Renz the Lang and Super Bounty having a really good battle here. Oh, Renz the Lang pushing, very aggressive. They're pushing Super Bounty out wide onto the dirt, which is never going to give you the best traction. But Super Bounty will come back for him. Bogorovsky, he's had a terrible start. Well, didn't have a terrible start, a great start, but unfortunately hit a stationary vehicle. So just one of those things. And I think, again, this can play into Bogorovsky. You know, the top five are only separated by 2.5 seconds, well, only 3 seconds, and Bogorovsky, he was quick in the last round. There will be no pit stops. Oh, Renz the Lang having to brake hard there. Super Bounty going wide, Rightly Karma. I don't know what's happened there. Oh, Bogorovsky having to take evasive action to get P4. Rightly Karma going a little bit massively wide, where he's fronted by, I know he's close by Renz the Lang. And Renz has been quite aggressive in this sprint race, so maybe he's a bit peed off that, you know, that he didn't get P1 in the last race, but you know, you need to take a little bit easier there, Renz. You know, bulldozing people out of the way, you can't really do that, mate. Super Bounty is very close behind, and Bogorovsky taking another half a second out, well, not half a second, 3/10 of this out of the time, so he needs to fall in there. Rightly Karma, a bit far back, but not impossible. Platypus sitting in P6, 6 seconds behind, 3 seconds behind Brenda Blob. Let's get Fiscal, Spruff, and yeah, to be quite honest, I don't think there's going to be any need to cover the top 6, so we'll stay on top board of the, maybe it's, yeah, we'll stay on top of the top 4, we'll keep on keep an eye on Rightly Karma. Teammate battle there, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, Renz the Lang. He's decided that he doesn't want to race on the track anymore. He wants to go and rake the sand. Oh, terrible. Unlucky for Renz. Unlucky for Renz. But I'd say a bit of justice there. So Bogorovsky now finds himself, after having that initial tete-a-tete start, in now P3, a podium position. So after winning the first race, he's now in P2, P3, sorry. not too far behind Super Bounty as well. And Mendes up front with 1.2 seconds lead. We've only got maybe another 2 laps. I'm sure Mendes would take a P1 after finishing P9 and winning this race would be quite an achievement for him. Super Bounty is quite quick as well, you know, but again prone to mistakes. Bogorowski was very consistent in the feature race. I think he done really well, and if consistency is the thing here, I think Bogorowski could very well be in the mix. So yeah, this will be the last lap. This lap, when they finish this lap, this next lap will be the last lap. So 1 lap to do it all. Rightly calm, I don't think he's going to do anything. Rensselaer is too far behind. Platypus is on the attack though, so all of a sudden we've got this Platypus, Brenda Blob and Fiscal. Oh, Jaden Shack decided just to crash into a wall for the sake of it. So Platypus has got to defend for 1 more lap. Bogorowski, we're going to go jump on board with the top 3. Bogorowski, Super Bounty and Mendes for the final lap. This will be the final lap. Mendes going into turn 1, he would want to be defending. He's got a second lead. Oh, Bogorowski giving Super Bounty a little bit of attack left on turn 1. Bogorowski seems to have some pace around here. Super Bounty might just want to defend for P2. But this could be... I think Mendes, with these 2 battling, has got the race win sewn up by a mistake from himself. Oh, there we go. Bogorowski looking on the inside. So we are to turn 6 before, just turn 6 before the corkscrew. Some good entry from both of them, and I think Mendes has actually got this one. Will there be any? Oh, Bogorowski. Yeah, and a bit of a slide there. I think Super Bounty has just done enough. Well done to Mendes for the 10-minute sprint race. Oh, Super Bounty losing it on the penultimate, well, just before the penultimate corner, but I think it's all done. It could be a sprint up to the line. Let's get Fiscal. That's got past Platypus. Platypus is falling down the grid. I don't know what's happened to him. As he has an instant, he's gone a bit too wide. But well done to Mendes. Well done to Super Bounty. Well done to Bogorowski for the top 3 positions. Rightly Karma P4. Rensselaer P5. Could have been more, but he went to spin. Let's get Fiscal. Managing to overtake Platypus on the final lap to get P6. Same with Brenda Blob. And Platypus has well decided that he's going to take a bit of gravel home as a bit of a souvenir. But well done to all 8 of them. As we just watch Platypus trying to just get some more screen time. This is the only one that hasn't finished yet. We get it, Platypus. You're a living legend. Alright, well, that is it. We'll just go through the final results there. We've got Mendes, Bounty and Bogorowski in top 3 positions. Rightly Karma, Rensselaer. Let's get Fiscal in P4, 5 and 6. I do believe it. And then we've got Brent the Blob in P7, Platypus P8, Bagpuss P9 and Jaden Shack in P10 for the finals. Results. That's the end of the RLH round 1 tier 2 Gran Turismo Sport Laguna Seca Raceway race. We'll catch you next week.